Hello, everyone. My name is Rodrigo Garibay, and I will be talking today about Mexico, Mexico's history, culture, and world standing economically and socially. To begin, I'll talk about the Spanish conquest of Mexico. Spaniard Diego Velázquez, shown in the picture, in the year 1517, ordered the Spanish fleet to land in the peninsula of Yucatan. However, what Velázquez was not expecting was a strong opposing force. Mexico's inhabitants, the Aztecs, were a strong force with military capabilities. Forced to retreat, Velázquez planned a second expedition. The second expedition, led by Hernán Cortés, was in the year 1518. Hernán Cortés first set foot in Cozumel, where, to his advantage, met a Spaniard who had been prisoner from the previous expedition and knew the language spoken by the Aztecs. The first battle Cortés fought, he won. In this battle, the Battle of Tabasco, Cortés acquired 20 slaves. Of these slaves, one was Malintzin, an Aztec woman who would later become Cortés's partner and interpreter in aspects of war. Malintzin, better known as La Malinche for her evil deeds against her culture, the Aztecs, helped Cortés win battles and understand what the Aztecs were thinking. This is because her knowledge of the language and culture allowed Cortés to gain the upper hand. Cortés, intelligently, also created alliances with villages that were against the Aztecs. These villages were against the Aztecs because the Aztecs demanded taxes and payments for their protection, when in reality they were just conquered by the Aztecs. In a battle against the Aztecs, Hernán Cortés captured Moctezuma, leader of the Aztecs. This capture led to developments where Moctezuma tried to escape. It created a battle, which ultimately led to the Aztecs losing the battle and the war. After conquering Mexico and proclaiming it the New Spain, a mass cultural genocide or ethnocide ensued. This ethnocide lasted for almost 300 years. Fast forward almost 300 years, and we arrive to September 16th, 1810, where the battle for Mexico independence begins. The want for independence that Mexicans experienced developed after the Battle of Puebla in May 5th, 1808, where Mexico defeated the French and made them retreat back to France. However, the French came back a few days later and won the battle. Miguel Hidalgo, after this loss, came up with the idea of independence, and the independence movement gained traction in the following years, where 2 years later, Miguel Hidalgo, gave the Grito de Dolores, which marked the beginning of the 13-year process for independence. With approximately 100,000 men following him, Miguel Hidalgo fought valiantly, but with no actual plan, until José María Morelos y Pavón became known and a leader when he won the Battle of San Diego's Fort. This battle for the fort is one of the many others that Mexicans won at the beginning of the independence wars. These wins lead to Mexico's army growing and having more support from the people, since the people believed that independence was actually achievable. However, Jose Maria dies around February of 1821, which creates a vacuum of power in the Mexican army, which is then used by the Spaniards to regain the upper hand in the war. Vicente Guerrero, a general in the army, never gave up even when the Spaniards won the upper hand and basically the war. And him and his faction, with the help of Agustín de Iturbide, who was a Spanish soldier that later joined the Mexican army, fight a battle for Mexico's capital, and in the end win, declare independence of Mexico from Spain, and conclude the Independence War in 1823.